Hi, friends. Welcome back to
Wish You Love Podcast.
I'm Jazmine.
And I'm Marilyn.
And thank you so much for tuning in and yet another episode here with us on Wish You Love Tuesday.
Be sure to follow us on all our social platforms at Wish You Love Pod and be part of the podcast. You can also send in your stories, or if you need advice, we have an anonymous Google form down below and you can totally send it in. Please do so. We love hearing from you.
And like we mentioned last episode, we're going to keep the theme of luck this March with our questions. So to start us off, we have a little opening question here. The question is, can you create luck? And if so, how? You want to answer first, Marilyn?
Yeah. So I know that a lot of people believe in luck or they don't believe in luck, but I really do feel that every single person makes their own path in this world. And I think with your mindset, you can kind of create your own luck, create your own happiness, create your own positive experiences with your mindset. I think if you come in a place of like a positive mindset, like all good things will happen to me, even if it's a bad thing, it's a good thing because it's going to teach me something. That's how I feel that like, as long as your mindset is in a position where it's positive and it's helpful, I think you'll always win. You'll always be lucky because I know some people that the worst thing will happen to them and they'll be like, thank you, because I learned this, I'm trying to think of an example and maybe in my life where I have experienced that. I have one. I used to always think, how am I going to have children and like wake up at 3 a.m? Like that's something I'm really dreading. And I just never understood how women can do that. And, when my dog Mickey, he got really sick, there was a point in time where he couldn't walk down the stairs and he would tell me he needed to pee. And so I would half asleep, and it was multiple times a night. And this is like 2 a.m, 4 a.m. I don't even know what time in the morning. I just know it's dark out still. And so I would like pick him up, walk down the stairs, half asleep, let him go to the restroom, but wait at the door. And then I'd grab him and then I'd go back to bed, and then I have work, then I have school, So I was like so exhausted, and I realized you're going to power through it because you love him, because you love your children. And that's what gets you to keep waking up and keep doing that and not get angry at them when they're waking you up, So I think a mindset of mine was I could have easily, been upset that he was getting older or, been angry that he was sick and stuff. But I instead, use that as a learning experience for future stuff in my life. And so that's how I feel like I'm lucky that I had that experience with him. I'm lucky that I seen him get old. I'm lucky that I woke up in those nights because it taught me something. So that's how I would answer the question.
Yeah, no, I think I'm answering very similarly. I think also you can create your luck. Everyone is able to create their luck depending on the situations you put yourself in, the networking that you do, the circle of friends and people that you have around you. I am going to shout out and highlight their friends, but I call them cousins because we grew up together. 2 twin sisters who are doing phenomenal in their careers. One of them is an engineer for the city of LA, and the other one is actually graduating this May to be a lawyer. So after this, she just does her, I forgot what it's called, but it's like the exam.
The bar.
The bar, yeah. Which I know she's going to confidently accomplish and succeed in. But yeah, like I'm putting those 2 twin sisters and, again, close friends, family for me into my answer, because these girls put themselves in situations so that they can be where they're at right now and that they can continue to succeed, right? Like they were not, I'm thinking in their perspective in their story, like they were not all strung up in like social media when they were in high school or anything. Like they were putting themselves in like conferences or clubs or, networking with people from different universities and whatnot. And that's where they're at right now. I'm like, I can proudly and like very happily say that they're doing amazing with their careers and like, financially and happiness and just with the people they're surrounding themselves with. I think they created their own luck. And when people ask me like, wow, like how did, how did she pass her LSAT, like with a score like that? Or wow, like she works for the city of LA. Do you know how hard it is to get in there? And it's like, yes, but they created that. They made that little path to get there. And it wasn't easy and it wasn't hard, but they did all the sacrifices and the networking that they had to do and created what their luck is right now.
Right.
So, yeah, definitely, I believe you can create your own luck.
And I was going to say, too, I feel that a lot of people, when you say, oh, you're so lucky, I think that they take it as like you didn't work for it. Maybe some people do mean that, like, oh, it's just a chance type of thing. But I think in our terms, we're talking about like really good situations, like lucky situations, but you build that around you is what you're saying. That I agree 100%. Good for her. Good for both of them. Congratulations. I know you're going to pass the bar if you're listening.
Definitely.
That's exciting.
Yeah. But all right, let's jump into the question.
Yeah, so I'm going to ask the question today, and Jazmine is going to answer first. So it says, how can you turn your biggest regrets and disappointments into powerful learning experiences?
All right. So thinking into this question, I think that we all go through a lot of stuff that are like, but just bad situation, bad people that we meet, bad, really just bad. Unpleasant, I should say, moments in life. But I think the way you can kind of turn it around is I believe that everything happens for a reason. And we've talked about this in multiple episodes. I think I've even stated like situations in my life, people or, whatnot, that they're meant to come for a reason. That situation was meant to happen for a reason. I think we've recently even talked about this, like Marilyn, when you didn't get that one job that you wanted, but now it's like, now you look back and think like, it's a good thing that I didn't get that, Yeah. So I think that anytime you're in a situation where you feel like it's unpleasant or you ask like, why me? Or like, why didn't this work? Or why didn't I get that? Just try to think faith over fear. Like, right, have faith that there's a reason why it happened or why you didn't achieve it or get it or, because something else is coming and that will truly make it more pleasant. I know me specifically with everything in my life that's been unpleasant. I now look back at it with like love, and I don't look back at it negatively. Not once have I negatively like thought about why I didn't get that or screw that person or screw this company for not giving. Like, I don't think like that. I think like, like I hope they're doing well, or like there's a reason why it didn't happen. And I'm grateful for where I'm at right now. And so I think that's how I would answer that question. Truly just try to see it with faith and try to see that there's a reason why and that it was meant to happen, right? Everything is meant. Pain, happiness, growth, everything is written in your story and there's a reason why. So, yeah.
Yeah, 1,000% agree. I think I'm going to answer this, I think, a little bit differently. Sometimes it kind of always comes back around together, so we'll see. But I'm going to repeat the question. How can you turn your biggest regrets and disappointments into powerful learning experiences? So what I'm going to talk about is a little bit vulnerable for me. I definitely wouldn't talk about this like on Instagram or anything, even though this is probably going to go on Instagram. I think my biggest disappointment, if I'm going to be honest, and like I said, this is very vulnerable for me because I don't admit disappointments in my life, honestly. I think my biggest disappointment is that I didn't become a singer because that's always what I wanted to do. Even the fact that I'm a professor and this is what I've been working towards, it's not what I wanted. So that's my biggest disappointment, yeah. Because anytime people bring it up like, oh, do you still sing? Or, when are you going to come out with music or something? I'm just like, I don't know. Before my excuse was like, I'm in school, but now I'm like, and I know I'm only like just got out of school, but I'm still like, well, damn, I'm still not doing it. So I think my biggest disappointment is that I haven't done anything. But I think my biggest lesson out of that is, well, hold on, Marilyn, you still got your whole life. And what I think I am, because I'm currently going through this right now, because now that I'm done with school, because school really was a factor for me because it took up a lot of my time. Even like my necessity time, like, showering and eating, it took up a lot of my time. But my biggest lesson is look at your track record, Marilyn. In everything that you do it 1,000%. Like they ask 100 from you, you give them 300. So, whether it be during my master's program or studying for comps or, even just like editing for this podcast, like I always try my best. So it's like, it's not a matter of if you can or if you can't, it's a matter of just do it. Because I know that once I get my foot in the door, I'm like crazy about it. That's how I am with being a professor right now, because I want to be the best. And I know that when I'm practicing for a performance, I always like amaze myself with how much my vocal training, because I do intense, like I do everything intense, but I do my trainings pretty intense to perfect the song. Like there can't be one wrong note. There can't be one wrong missed word. Like I say the word wrong, or I say the lyric, one before it's supposed to be, or something like that. And I always shock myself. An example of that, I had to learn how to sing My Heart Will Go On from Celine Dion and Ave Maria, which is like a really classical song. Those are both extremely hard songs. Killed it. No problem. Like it was amazing. And I think after Ave Maria, I was like, oh yeah, like you can push your voice to go high, to belt, to hold it, to speak Latin, to like do all these things. So I think my disappointment in myself right now is that I'm not doing my passion, because that is really what fills my soul. Like truly, like there's nothing like singing. Honestly, there's nothing like it. And I thought of this when I read the question, because in my class, one of the questions, they have like journal prompts to write every single week. And one of them is, what did you want to be when you were a child or when you were growing up or something like that? And so, they're all telling me what they wanted to be. And so I wrote it down on the board. So like some of them, flight attendant, they want to be a doctor, a vet, all these things. And so, other students would ask, did you end up, only one student ended up becoming what he wanted to be, which was a chef. And so at the end, I was hoping they weren't going to ask me, but they're like, Professor, did you always want to be a professor? And I was like, no. So I just like continue walking because I was like going to grab the eraser. They're like, well, what did you want to be? And I was like, I've always wanted to be a singer. And so I write down the word singer on the board, but I'm like, damn, this kind of makes me sad that I'm like, and they're like, en serio? Like you wanted to sing, like you can sing? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, sing right now. I'm like, no, I'm not going to sing right now. I'm teaching right now. But I think I can't let it die. I can't let the dream die. And I think my dream for my singing, because I love oldies, I love lowriders, I love the culture. I really just want to be well known locally and do shows singing oldies. And if I could create my own oldies, that's my dream. I'm not expecting to be Beyonce. I don't want to be Beyonce, because then I can't like live my life and have a normal life and go to Disneyland and things like that. Like that would be my dream, is that I'm a professor, but also maybe once a month I got a gig. Like that would be my dream. And I know I have it in me, because like I said, in everything I do it 1,000%. I try my best and I always put so much effort. It's just a matter of just doing it. Yeah.
I think we answered it very differently, but I'm going to bring what I said to you now. I think that you have to have that faith and versus that fear of like, you make it seem like it's a regret. I haven't seen. You're 26. Yeah. Like you just started your career. That does not mean that like I regret it. It's I'm disappointed. It's never gonna happen. Like have that faith that you it's just pause right now. It's not, you still have so much to like live and to do, and life works in mysterious ways, and there's a reason why you're not singing right now. Like there is a reason why. Like next year, who knows what brings, and maybe you'll be singing again in a couple months or in a couple years, and then you're gonna see like, oh, like this is why, because my singing was much more powerful. I had much more of a purpose than just doing gigs. Like you really like do not know, like just I don't know. I'm like tying in now what I said, like have that faith. And I totally understand, but especially as artists, because you guys know my Angel does music too. And so I feel like with you guys too, sparks come and go. Yeah. And so maybe it's on pause because maybe it's something is marinating and coming that when you feel that spark, I know you're going to be 300% Marilyn to be like, I have this vision. I know what I want to sing, or I made this song. I crafted this, and it's here now. And versus forcing it or like trying to put it in now. Maybe right now you're just not there yet. Like you know, like maybe right now is just you just have to adjust now to this new life, and then something is coming to like spark it up again. Yeah. So
yeah, I definitely. I 1,000% agree with you. Jazmine's right on this. And like we said, we kind of does circle back of both of our responses. It always does. I think something that's also scary too is that I'm so used to knowing what to do. I'm so used to knowing my field. And I don't know the music industry. I don't. All I know is I can sing, you give me a song, and I can do it. And I know how to vocal warm up. I know how to take care of my voice. I know how to do that, like myself. And I took like writing courses when I was doing community college, but I haven't written a song in so long. So I really do feel like I'm not where I'd hope to be. But like, how can I expect that if I'm like focusing on other things and not putting my time into the craft? So yeah, I definitely have to have faith and just do it because it's a matter of just starting. And you're right, there are sparks, but I feel like I'm the type of person that even if I have that spark, I have to like just start. It's kind of like my work too. Like I said, I love lesson planning, but before work was starting, I was like putting it off. I'm like, okay, work is starting soon. So like I need to start lesson planning for the first week. And it's just a matter of doing it. And then once I'm in it, I'm like, do.
Okay. I just thought of like an example. Okay. Think about our girl, Ari. Oh. She has put music on a pause, and we know she loves music, but she also found this need and purpose and like want to do the musical, the movie that's coming out, which I'm so excited. Yeah, I was gonna say.
She's my only friend that's an Ariana Grande fan.
But like, think about it now. Years later, now she's about to release an album. How long has it been? Like 2-3 years? Yeah. Okay, so 4 years. Yeah. But like, I'm sure it's like life and moments that inspired her and that are like making her now appreciate and love and even more excited to release this because it's going to be so special to her. But I'm sure, and I don't know Ariana Grande, I'm not Ariana Grande, but I am sure that while she was recording, I feel like you're kind of like that. Like, okay, like your Wicked is becoming a professor, right? And being that role until Eternal Sunshine comes, and you're gonna marinate that, and it's gonna come when you least expect it. And you're gonna have that faith. You're gonna be like, "Oh, this is so special! Like I'm ready for it." Yeah, and then boom, it's gonna happen. Yeah, because that's how I see with her. Like, she's always excited. When she posts on social media, like her music and everything. But I feel like this one just feels more special to her, and I think it's because of that break and that kind of like time that she had to cultivate it.
You're right. I think I just need to get writing and just see what comes out, because I will say I did start a project. It was called Cry Girl. That was what the release was supposed to be called. And it was at the time of 2022. So I had released covers in 2021, and then I was like, I want to do more oldie covers in 2022, but I wanted to do like kind of an intro, but it's like my own song. And so the album was going to be called Cry Girl because that's really how I felt, because I was very depressed at the time about Mickey's death and stuff. But now I don't resonate with that. I don't feel like Cry Girl. Like I feel like kind of like Ariana Grande's song Just Like Magic. Like I feel like my
Magic girl.
Magic girl. I feel like affirmations, like success, like love, like positive things now, not pain. Although I probably will sing painful songs just because those are always the most heartfelt. But yeah, I'm actually going to sing in March for a loved one who passed away. So I am going to sing soon. But it's Christian song, so it's going to be really nice. It's going to be, one of the songs is Oceans. I don't know if you guys know that song. It's a really popular Christian song. But so I am going to sing, but it's like, you know what I mean? It's not my own craft, I guess. So, but now I'm like, now that this is out there, this will push me, girl, you got to keep to your word. You need to do it. Yeah.
And just have that faith that it'll happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope you guys are journaling this question and maybe thinking about how you would answer this question, because I answered it completely different from Jazmine. Maybe you resonate with me. Maybe there's something that you're regretting right now and you're like, I need to just get that started because I don't want to live life saying I never did it. Or maybe like you feel like Jazmine, or like, yes, I just need to have faith. You know, that's what I'm learning from these life situations. And yeah, thank you so much for being here today. And please share this episode with a friend, especially if you feel like they need to hear it.
And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Took some, words or feelings or even inspirations out of this. I always say this. I feel like the beauty of this podcast episode is that Marilyn and I are alike, but slightly different.
Yeah.
And so we never rehearse or talk to each other about how we're going to answer these questions. We just answer them. And so, yeah, I hope you
very raw,
very truthful, truly like the things that I think in my mind and the things that she thinks in her mind and in her heart. It's what we say. Yeah. And so hope you can relate or even think of something different. That is okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Thank you so much for being here with us today. And
above all else, we wish you love. Bye, friends.